Well, the Golden Rain Foundation met yesterday, and that was their regular meeting. They do meet on the first Tuesday of each month at 9:30 in the morning, right here in your boardroom in your community center. And joining us today is the president of the Golden Rain Foundation, that is Lloyd Foster. Thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You had a very busy day yesterday. It was a long meeting and a long closed session.
Our open meeting finished about 12:15. We had a quick lunch, and then we reconvened for a closed session about 1 o'clock. And we went until just a little bit after 4.
Wow, and then you have the budget meeting again this
Then
morning at
we have
9:30.
a budget meeting this morning, right?
Wow. Well, let's get to the hot topic yesterday was definitely the new bus route system.
Yes.
Quite a few people attended the meeting. Nice to see them. They should probably be at the committee level, but it was nice to see the members come out and voice their opinions regarding the new system.
Right. As everyone knows, we were kind of in a trial period for the dual bus hub system. One hub being at Clubhouse 1 and the other one at the towers. We've had that in place now for several weeks, just on Sundays. The plan is for a 3-phase plan. Phase 1 is the trial period, Sundays only. Phase 2 is to expand it to Saturdays. And phase 3 is 7 days a week. However, we're getting a lot of comments from the residents that they're not happy with it, and they want it changed. And so we delayed putting in the second day, which would be Saturday. And it goes back to committee for further review and maybe some rerouting or something else to make the system work. If we know what the problems are, the issues that the residents expressed yesterday, the biggest thing seems to be the time it takes to go from point A to point B.
Right.
And staff and the committee will work on that and see if they can't get that corrected.
That's going to be quite a challenge for that committee because no matter what you reroute it with, there's going to be people that are going to either be delayed on their route. I talked to a couple of residents when we were out there at Clubhouse 1 one day, and it worked out in their favor. But then maybe a majority, it's delaying them about 15 or 10 minutes or whatever the case might be.
From what I understand about it, there are ways of shortening the time from point A to point B if you know how to use the system.
Right.
And that's some of the problems, that the people don't know how to use the system. But the reason this was put into effect was twofold. One was to save money. With this dual hub system, we can eliminate at least one bus, maybe more. The other reason was service. We felt that this system would give better service, more direct service, but obviously we're running into some difficulties with that, and we need to work it out.
Right, and that's the nice thing about the people that utilize the bus. They're very vocal. And they're on the bus every single day. You have what is the ridership for the bus service? Have you guys taken a look at that lately?
I don't have. We get those numbers every month, but I don't.
But there's definitely a select group of people who utilize the bus on a daily basis, and obviously it's an important way for them to get around the community, and not just the community, but the surrounding, the hospital, the surrounding business areas, things like that. Okay, so we encourage people that do utilize the bus to go back to the committee. Correct. And that's going to be the Transportation Committee?
Yes.
Okay, and
it's the Mobility and Vehicles Committee.
That's right.
They
changed it. The old Transportation Committee. Well, be sure and take a look at our Monday memo or come over to the Community Center and find out when that meeting is next at the committee level and be a part of that. You also had, I believe you extended some hours over at the Village Greens, which has turned out to be a very popular place to, at least kind of hang out.
We extended the operation of the cafe over there by 1 hour. They'll go till 8 o'clock at night.
Okay, very nice. I know that's been highly utilized.
And again, this will be more or less on a trial basis. If it works, we'll keep it in place. If it doesn't, we'll have to make some adjustments because we are having some issues at the Village Greens Cafe. Our contract with the vendor states that it will be revenue neutral. And we're not at that point yet.
Okay.
we hope to get there soon. But there's going to have to be some changes made, and the people are going to have to adjust to those changes, and we hope to get it on track where it belongs.
When you say revenue neutral, does that mean that it's not being utilized as much as we had hoped, or people aren't buying as much?
No, revenue neutral is, expenses and operating costs,
Right.
and food costs and all of that stuff. We're not there to make a profit.
Right.
And that would be revenue neutral.
Right. You're just there to
Yes.
provide a nice
Yes.
service and cover your costs for the community and for the provider then.
Right.
Very nice. What else do you have for us today? I know you also had something with the Community Activities Committee, I believe. They entertained a motion to retain a consultant, I believe. Oh, no, this was for the gate access that I wanted to talk to you about.
Security?
Yeah, this is
Yes.
their Security and Community Access Committee. Ray Gross was in charge of that.
Yes.
Now, you've talked about some upgrades and improvements to the community's gate access system.
The appropriation yesterday was for $16,900 to retain a consultant to make some recommendations for upgrades and improvements to the community gate access system. Now, this will apply to all gates, including some of the departments within this building.
Now, is that a software upgrade or is that just a utilization?
It's a consultant would be primarily utilization, I think, although software will come into play at some point.
Right. And those are two, what you spoke about yesterday, two very important items as to why people are attracted to live in our community.
Yes.
We have bus transportation, and I believe every time we've had a survey of some sort, security has always been the
Yes.
major issue, that people can move into this community and feel secure, and they can actually go for a walk at midnight and feel safe, other than might be a couple coyotes out there, but
Yeah.
they do feel safe because of the security that's here in our community.
One of the biggest issues we face with security, and it's, as far as I know, it's always been there, is outsiders using our facilities. Some don't want it, some do because they want their family and their friends and everyone else to come in and enjoy the facilities. But it does create an issue as far as security goes.
Right.
How do you get them in? How do you track them?
How do you get them out?
And how you get them out.
Yeah.
And I believe Director Gross said yesterday that 10 million vehicles come through the gates
Each year?
each year.
My, that's quite a few.
That's
That's a
a
lot
lot.
of vehicles. And that, especially for a community that Mr. Cortese, the developer of Laguna Woods Village, or Leisure World at
Right.
the time, there's only really one car for each home, because
That's
no
right.
one could ever imagine that people would have 2, 3, 4 cars living in Laguna Woods Village. Being a retired couple, you would think one car would have sufficed, especially with the bus transportation available. But we see plenty of cars out there. Matter of fact, I was out at, I forget, one of the buildings, and they're doing a lot of dry rot repair and then painting and things like that, and people have to move their cars out of the carport.
Right.
And once you see all those cars on the street, then you realize how many cars are really in this community.
Yes.
Very important issue.
And that creates a problem.
Right,
We don't have enough parking.
right.
The streets are more or less substandard in width according to the regulations that are in place now. If this place was built today, those streets would be much wider
Right.
and
Have some eminent
provide
domain
for
problems.
safe, proper parking on each side.
Right.
And now if you park on each side of the street, it narrows down the traffic lane quite a bit.
Yeah, it becomes a single lane.
Right.
Yeah.
In some cases, we have to go in and paint the curbs red because the fire department requires a certain width for their vehicles.
Right.
And if you allow parking on both sides, narrows it down too much, they can't get through.
Right. These are all issues
Yep.
that the Golden Rain Foundation
That's-
is responsible for, right?
That's right.
Now, you had something you wanted to leave
Yes,
before you take off and
in-
head off to your budget meeting?
Yes. In closing, I would like to make an announcement. Excuse me. For the last 2 to 3 weeks, legal counsel for GRF and the El Toro Water District have been working on the language for a memorandum of understanding to terminate an agreement that has been in existence for over 20 years. That document has been completed and signed by both parties, which will terminate the agreement. The document consists of two parts, a sinking fund and a depreciation fund. By terminating the agreement, it has resulted in a disbursement to GRF from the El Toro Water District in the amount of $1,571,619.44. In closed session yesterday, GRF received the check from El Toro Water District. Immediately following the adoption of the resolution, the GRF board voted to return the full amount to the mutuals on a pro rata basis and directed financial services to make the distribution soon as possible.
Wow.
And this agreement has to do with the reclaimed water project that El Toro is starting.
It's somewhat of a kind of a rebate, I guess, from the El Toro Water District?
It was a sinking fund, yeah.
So now will that reflect on the 2013 budget that we're talking about today?
The amount
The
of
million,
money?
yeah, the $1.5 million that goes back to the mutuals?
It should if the distribution is made.
Wow. Well, that's good news, I would think, right?
Very good news.
Especially nowadays when you hear
Especially
about,
for the mutuals.
Exactly, especially for the mutuals, and especially when we hear about water, you know, and the cost of water, and it's just going to go up, up, and up, and at least this is going to help offset it for a little while.
Right.
Very good. Well, we wish you well today. You have to get
Thank you.
going. You have the 9:30 budget meeting,
Right.
2013. This is one of the last versions before the finalization in the next month or
Right.
so. Okay, so we attend. Be sure to attend the meeting. That's going to be at 9:30 this morning in the boardroom right here in the community center. And you, if you like, you can watch it from home as well. And come on down though and be a part of the process and be a part of the Golden Rain Foundation's business meeting for 2013. We're going to be back with Capital Toyota right after these messages.